pumping music. How's everybody doing? Welcome. Everyone got coffee? Water? You ready to go? I'm going to go on a journey. We're going to go quick. Also, Andor, best thing on television. If anyone hasn't watched it, tremendous, tremendous. So as we just heard from Amelia this morning, I think we all know that we are living through the early days of a brand new age, an age that is defined by a force that's gone from a fringe academic pursuit to everyday cultural obsession, and all in the space of basically 24 months. And now by this point, we all know that, of course, I'm talking about AI, the only thing anybody is talking about these days. And we also know that it's not the kind of AI that we grew up with in the movies of our childhood, not the kind that has terrifying, glowing red eyes. That's bigger than expected. It's different on my laptop. But the kind that's actually quite real, quite genuine. It's in front of us. It can think, it can plan, it can reason. It's pretty much already part of our workflows. And let's be honest, it's part of our lives and our families. Now, for the majority of the world, this is something that they are just waking up to. But at Ometria, we have been preparing for this from day one. A decade ago, we launched Ometria with a very specific vision, our vision to be your co-marketer, an intelligent assistant by your side. Of course, in 2013, when we came up with that vision was ambitious. But today, it is reality. And before we talk about that, and we will, before we talk about what this age of AI means for us marketers, where we go next, let's take a few minutes just to look back at what's come before and what's helped to get us to where we all are today. I'm Ivan Mazour, the CEO founder of Ometria. Let me take you on a journey for a few minutes, a journey through humanity, through technology, through intelligence, and of course, most importantly, through marketing. Now, over the years, throughout humanity, there have been a number of technologies which, once discovered, didn't just transform industries, but actually transformed society, transformed everything. We call them general purpose technologies, GPTs, language, writing, fire, agriculture. Each of these was a technology which, once discovered, went on to proliferate across the whole entire world and change all of humanity. When they were discovered, a force was unleashed, a wave that was impossible to predict and impossible to stop. This wave was 100% certain to go and take over everything that we knew and understood until that moment. How exactly it would evolve was impossible to predict. But the fact that that technology would be 100% adopted from the moment it was discovered, that was certain. Let's start with fire. Consider fire for a second. Quick show of hands. Would anyone consider fire to be technology until I mentioned it this way? A couple of hands. Because, yeah, I mean, it's natural, right? It's always existed. Fire has always been around on this planet, or I guess in the universe. But for the majority of time, our predecessors, our Homo erectus predecessors, did not have access to it as a technology. Until one day, they did. And suddenly it was a source of light, a source of heat, a protection from predators. Cooking food with it meant that nutrients could be released a lot faster, which led to giant physiological changes. They no longer had to spend all day, every day chewing, which they had to until then. Instead, they could spend their time on learning, on hunting, on building. The campfire became the centerpiece of society for millennia. It grounded and created whole entire communities. So fire, such a simple word, is actually one of the most impactful technologies that we humans have ever discovered. Or consider the engine. Now, for the majority of time, getting from one place to another required the use of our legs. And maybe, for the last 10,000 years, if you zoom in, maybe some lucky people were able to tame a horse or a donkey, perhaps, and ride and use their legs instead. And then, at one point, a few humans in a few different places came up with an idea. The idea for an engine. A technology which, if harnessed in the correct way, if placed in the right machine, would transform our ability to get across the planet and even beyond it. Now, the rollout of the engine was not an easy one. In the 18th century, somebody came out with this steam-powered car. That was not a good idea. That did not take off. In the 19th century, someone came up with the internal combustion engine, which was amazing. And the very first product that could reasonably be described as a car managed a grand total of 7 miles. In fact, 7 years after Carl Benz patented his Motorwagen, he had sold less than 100 of them, 7 years. 20 years later, there were still only 35,000 cars on the road. But that wave was unstoppable. Infrastructure was created, motorways, petrol stations. Today, there are 2 billion engines in 2 billion cars. And for most of us, getting from A to B is just something that we take entirely for granted. So let's press the fast forward button. Let's go through some more general purpose technologies. And as we do that, let's remember what it is that we all in this room do, our passion, marketing. The printing press. Printing press allowed one person to reach thousands, soon millions. For ideas to spread, for marketing as a concept to become possible. Electricity. Electricity led to so many things, refrigeration, mass production, but it led to radio and television. Immersive, emotional communication at scale, brand new mediums for marketers to tap into. And then, of course, the internet. Hyper-relevant targeting, always-on commerce. It took marketing from broadcast to personalization. It enabled one-to-one customer experiences. It brought us all to where we are today. Each one of these technologies didn't just change the way that we market, the way that we do marketing. It transformed the concept of marketing itself, and it redefined the role of the marketer. And now here we are again, the precipice of a brand new general purpose technology, artificial intelligence. And just like the technologies that came before it, like fire and electricity and the internet, artificial intelligence is not confined to a single industry or a single vertical. It is horizontal. It will change everything. In fact, it already has, let's be honest, hands up who's used ChatGPT in the last week. There we go. We all don't know how to write or think anymore. It's game over. It's happened. It's started. The transformation is here. So yes, 2 years ago, the vast majority of people had probably never used AI in their entire lives. And yet today it writes copy, it drafts presentations, it builds code. It actually creates legislation. By the end of this year, every forward-thinking individual, every forward-thinking business will be using artificial intelligence. This is not in question. This change is unstoppable. It is irreversible. And it's exponential. And I know the word exponential has been thrown around a lot by technology companies in the last 10 years. You know, everybody has been talking about exponential this and exponential that. This time is different. Why? Because we can feel it, the difference between before and after. It's so very clear, it's so very visible. Which means the only question that remains is, are we just trying to keep up, or are we at the forefront, ahead of it? And that's a question that we asked ourselves 10 years ago, 12 years ago. And we made a decision when we launched Ometria right at the start. We made a decision to build ahead of the market, to prepare for this moment. And sure enough, that decision is now finally paying off. For the past decade, Ometria has been the leading customer data platform for enterprise retail brands. From Sephora to Boden to Foot Locker to 200 more across the world, we are your CDP. We help you aggregate and unify dozens, hundreds of different data sources to create detailed omnichannel identities of your customers. What are they browsing? What are they buying? What are they returning? When are they likely to come back? What are the best channels to interact with them with? How should you communicate with them? The journey that we have been on to combine, to unify all of that data, that has enabled us to create a data set of 1 billion individual people, which our system processes and handles and enriches on on a daily basis today. We power everything from communication through to the enrichment and empowerment of each of those data sets. And hopefully, we do that for many of the people in the room. Nobody knew what a CDP was because it just didn't exist as a concept. Nobody else was doing it. We did not know it would be known to be called a CDP. At the time, retailers were trying to make the most of legacy ESP solutions. I'm trying to use them to communicate with their customers. We knew that this age was coming, this change, this new era. And we knew that actually for retailers to be able to make the most of AI, they would need a new type of technology. They would need something different. Think back to the invention of the engine. The engine was the incredible general purpose technology, like AI. But it wasn't the engine that changed everything. An engine on its own actually achieves nothing. But if you take that engine and you put it into a car and you add some fuel, and suddenly it transforms humanity. And AI is also an incredibly powerful piece of technology. But just like the engine, marketers would need more than just AI. They would need two additional things as well. Let me ask you a question. Did anyone here use GPT-1 or GPT-2 by OpenAI? Anybody? Any hands? OK, there we go, early adopter. So GPT-2 and GPT-1 were not very good and not widely adopted because they were missing those exact same two things. Let's get to the bottom of what those two things are. Follow-up question. Can anyone think of why did ChatGPT become the fastest adopted product in human history when GPT-1 and GPT-2 had actually existed for many years before and didn't really take off? Anyone? Any thoughts? OK, quiet room. Have I either scared you off? OK. Well, GPT-1 and GPT-2 were the engine. They were a technology and a technology only. They sat in the background, and the only way to use them was via an API. So you had to build your own car to use them. ChatGPT was a fully, perfectly designed consumer product. It was the car of the AI age. Anybody with an internet connection could just come in and drive. That transformation made it absolutely vital, but wasn't the only one. The second thing is that ChatGPT, already by the time it was launched, was powered by GPT-3 as the model underneath it, and then soon 3.5 Turbo, and 4, and 4.0, and now 4.5 and beyond. These later models, the data that they were trained on, the fuel that they were powered by, was the entirety of the human internet. In fact, the entirety of encoded human knowledge. And that data, that fuel, meant that the answers that ChatGPT was able to give were transformationally better than any of the versions that came before it. So we knew this same mental model would apply to marketing. You take the engine, you build the perfect car to put it in, and you add the best fuel. Of course, marketers would need the AI engine. We knew that. That had to be absolutely vital. But they would also need the data. And they would need all of it. Customer data, order data, channel interaction data, behavioral data, returns data. Every signal, every touch point was vital in ensuring that that AI would be effective. AI that operated on only a subset of this data, like AI in an ESP, for example, it would be like ChatGPT. It would be like GPT-2. It couldn't possibly be effective. And on top of the AI engine and the data fuel, of course, marketers would need the AI equivalent of the car, the purpose-built product designed to be used, the product that is built to ensure that every marketer could fully utilize that AI technology, use it to understand the customer, to launch campaigns, use it to work out what was going to have the biggest impact on their strategy, use it to make sure they can go and implement it. That's why when we built Ometria, when we created it, we built it to be AI first from the ground up, and we built it to be as a singular, unified customer data and experience platform. Not two separate systems somehow duct taped together, not something where AI would be some future add-on, but a singular product, purpose-built to do one thing and one thing only, to be the car that would power the next generation of marketing. Because AI without a CDXP foundation, it's like taking an engine and pouring some fuel on it and hoping that is going to get you to your destination. Whereas AI in Ometria is that perfect moment where human marketers and artificial intelligence come together in a precision machine, where data, where humans, where AI form a singular flow. And most importantly, a flow that has not been designed to replace you, a flow that has been designed to enhance you. Because the one thing we really cannot forget about, I mean, we must not forget about is the most important part of all of this, the human, the marketer, you. As we heard earlier, the AI paradigm is already evolving. It's only been 2 years, but AI agents are stepping into the forefront. Agentic AI, possible right now, creates a paradigm where AI no longer has to enhance us, but it can take over. It can do everything that we do. Agentic AI can sift through vast customer data. It can identify all of the most important insights. It can optimize campaigns. It can tweak creative. It can adjust segments. It can refine timings. It can handle execution. It can maximize impact. It can do our jobs. And let's be clear, in this paradigm, the involvement of the human being is entirely optional. Taking input or even keeping us updated is not mandatory. But it can be a choice. And at Ometria, that is a choice we have specifically made. Many of you will have come to previous life cycles and would have heard me talking before, wearing exactly the same outfit, as you can see. And you will know that we deeply believe in the irreplaceable nature of human creativity, empathy, and intuition. We believe there is a path to agentic AI that does not replace you. We believe there is a clear path to agentic AI that enhances you. Think back to why you became a marketer in the first place. I bet it's not to spend hours digging through data and tweaking manual campaign parameters. It was to come up with creative ideas, to craft compelling narratives, to deliver experiences your customers would remember and would love. Well, that dream, which, let's be honest, until now, reality probably hasn't lived up to, that dream is about to come true. Our AI agents will tee up all of your critical decisions, prepare everything you need, ensure that you have all of the recommendations, all of the information that you need to act decisively and effectively. In this new paradigm, in this new collaboration, the agents and the humans will come together, ensuring that you have everything you need to make every decision you need and to implement every strategy. This new partnership between human and agent can make your roles not just more efficient, but more fulfilling. You become the conductor. You become the visionary, orchestrating exceptional customer experiences, making strategic decisions with clarity and with confidence. This is the future that we are committed to at Ometria, a future where human creativity and artificial intelligence comes together to empower marketers to do their best, their most fulfilling work. So let me ask you this. What if every marketer, what if every person in this audience had such a super intelligence by your side? That is a question that we asked ourselves, and 10 years ago we launched Ometria with a vision to be your co-marketer, and over the years you have seen us deliver on so many components of it. Whether predictive segmentation or AI frequency management, Or, of course, Architect, our flagship AI product, fully integrated into the Ometria CDXP, ready to answer your most important strategic questions. Unlike generic AI trained on generic data, Architect was built from the ground up for retail. It's trained on a proprietary data set of 30 billion authentic customer interactions. Under the hood are dozens of our own algorithms that have been tweaked, refined, optimized to real-world application. What if every single marketer had this kind of intelligence by their side? Well, it's an exciting moment for us because today we take another leap forward, and we are very proud to announce and to actually show you something that we are very excited about right now, the Architect Deep Insights Agent. And instead of me just talking about it, why don't we jump straight in? Why don't we ask it a question that I bet every single person in this room either asks or is asked on a regular basis. Can you have a look at our recent sales performance, work out which segment's doing well, and what's driving that success? Now, that's a complex question. But because Architect is built directly into our CDXP, it is already connected to every single piece of data that it needs in order to answer this question. And sure enough, here is the answer. It is the urban commuter segment, the minimalist sneakers categories driving it. There is even one specific standout product. Now, so far, so good. This has saved hours of data analysis work. But let's see if we can crank up the AI magic even more. Architect, can you have a look at that top product? And can you use image AI to identify what it is that makes it special? Now, this is using semantic image analysis to work out what are the style attributes of that product. This is not just pulling from the product taxonomy and the attributes that you already have in there. It's actually trying to work out what we haven't even thought of. And now, Architect, can you find me some more products that match those same similar styles? We have just reviewed our overall business performance. We have identified a top-performing segment. We've worked out the category that's driving the success of that segment. We've even found one standout product, and then we found a bunch of other products that match that successful product's stylistic DNA, all in a few moments, all using agentic AI. Now, we could, at this point, say, great, let's just take that original segment and send a campaign with all of these products. But actually, very often, when we are in strategy meetings with all of our customers, the question we get asked is, how do we expand reach? How do we get more of our top customers are already buying? We get more of our customers to spend with us. So let's do that instead. Architect, could you make us an audience of customers that are interested in those products? And then can you turn it into a segment so we can go and target a campaign at them? And there we go. 1 million customers who have a high propensity to buy this set of products that are stylistically similar to our top performer. The segment is built. It's ready. Of course, we are the CDXP. All the execution is already happening out of this same platform. So we've just gone from insight to actionability in under 2 minutes. What you've just seen is a genuine example of what happens when a human marketer and AI agent collaborate effortlessly. Architect is not some generic chatbot, of which, of course, we know there are many everywhere. Architect has been designed from the ground up for retail, and most importantly, with one principle in mind, that it must be your intelligent assistant, and it must understand everything about you, your business, and your customers, your data, your brand, your strategy, what your customers have done in the past, but not only that, what they will do in the future, the state of the retail market overall, and to be able to bring all of that together in order to answer your most important questions. Architect is not just a tool. It finally is your co-marketer. It is the trusted advisor that is there, ready to support you and your toughest decisions, your most important decisions, ready to enhance your capabilities, always there by your side. We are in a very unique position to be able to achieve this. As the only customer data experience platform built specifically for retail, there are 3 things that mean that we are able to deliver this unique value to our customers. our unparalleled proprietary data on which this is trained, our unified customer data and experience platform, which doesn't exist anywhere else, and our deep retail expertise, which is unmatched and has been developed over 12 years of working with all of you. These three things are distilled into our agentic AI, into Architect, and enable all of this to be possible. This is the culmination of our vision, although at the same time, the beginning of the next step. We all know that as humans, we can only make good decisions if we have the full context. Well, the exact same thing is true for AI agents too. And the Ometria CDXP, by aggregating and unifying all data, by executing and optimizing all campaigns, is uniquely able to provide the context and the capability required for AI to be valuable. This is not a journey that started yesterday for us, or even 2 years ago. It's a journey that started 10 years ago. From the very first predictive customer lifetime value model, which we launched in 2014, we have been building for and preparing for today's agentic AI era. With $70 million from top venture capital funds, we have assembled the best team of technologists and data scientists and retail strategists, and so many of them are here today. And I would love for you to go and meet them and spend some time. They are dedicated to keeping you at the absolute cutting edge. Every decision that we make, every single thing we build and release, we build for you, the retail marketer, and for nobody else. With Ometria, you're not just ready for the AI revolution, you have shaped it. This is a renaissance moment, as Amelia said, definitely. It's a renaissance moment for retail marketing. And this revival will be powered not by algorithms, but by humans. The marketers in this room, all of you, you are the visionaries that will lead us through this transformation. You are not just adapting to change, you are not just keeping up. You're leading the way, and you are actively shaping it. With the right platform, with the right data, with the right agent by your side, you can create experiences your customers love. Not just once, not just occasionally, but every single time. AI is not the end of marketing as we know it. AI is the beginning of what marketing was always meant to be. We are ready for this future. Welcome to the age of agentic AI. Welcome to the age of Architect. With your vision and our technology, let's go and build it together. Thank you.